Hello, my beautiful little Saggies, my sweet ones. I know it's been so hard. I know it's been so hard. And I know you have this knowing, but this belief is being tried. I'm telling you, it's being tried. Trust me, I know. Because I have my moon in Sagittarius. So, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for watching this video. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Cindy. I am the modern day spiritual advisor. I use multiple modalities, including tarot, astrology, mediumship, hypnotherapy, all kinds of stuff to help you on your path. So my gorgeous ones, thank you for having patience with me. Mars is really trying me. Saturn's trying me, just like it's trying you. And so I got really ill. I finally got my voice back. I kind of got it back, and then I lost it again, and I got it back, and so I'm feeling better now. So let's talk about what's going on. So thank you for having patience with me. I really appreciate it. But you guys are so sweet. You're always so sweet. I know you can be direct, but you're sweet. So we got some good stuff going on. You are almost there. I'm telling you, you're almost there. I know you're having these vivid dreams. And they could be clues as to what's going to be coming, because I can feel for a lot of you, you're having prophetic dreams. You're just not remembering all the pieces. That's what I was getting when I was going into your energy and listening to spirit. And don't worry, it's coming. Like, you're really having to adjust and move things around and really try not to do things, make the really extra effort of not doing things the way that you were doing things, or maybe adjusting a little bit. I know some of you have had some luck come your way, which has really helped. And you've got more stuff coming. You've got your 12th house, your 9th house, your 10th house, your 3rd house, your 11th house all lit up, okay? So I know that 2nd house is really trying you, and yeah, that 2nd and 3rd house, yeah, and that, see, 11, 10, 9, 8 house, oh yeah. That 8th house is really trying you too. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on. So July, Venus is in Virgo. So Venus is in Virgo. This is where your luck has come in. And this is you, Saggy. So this is your 12th, 11th, 10th house. This is your 10th house of reputation, 10th house of life purpose, 10th house of accolades and things you do really well, right? Do out into the world. Now, when Venus is in there, it brings you love, luck, and money. It can bring you all three. It can bring you one of the three. It can bring you two of the three, right? Kind of depends on your path, what you're doing, what you have in your energetic field. Now, I know a lot of you have had to let go of some things. I know a lot of you had to really come to terms with some things. And you're so sweet. You have this, I mean, I've talked about this before. You have this knowing of these things are to be true. And then it's this, it's hard to explain to people. I know what I know, even if I don't see it here right now, right? And so maybe some things you've had to adjust. Maybe some things you've had to renegotiate or figure out, but then you've had some luck here. You've had some changes going on in your career, some changes going on in your life purpose. Right now, you may meet some very influential people. You may have already met them. When Venus is in here in your 10th house, I can see where that happens. What's really trying us, though, there's this lunar eclipse and then the solar eclipse, right? But right now, that lunar eclipse. So before I talk about that, I'm so sorry if I have to cough. Excuse me. So Jupiter's gone direct. Jupiter has been in your 12th house. You have been really trying to, wanting to isolate or trying to figure something out, or maybe you've been dreaming very vividly, especially when it went direct. This is where you're getting your answers. This is where things are becoming clear. You may not remember all of it, but continue to, before you go to bed, ask what's going on. Ask the questions that you need. This isn't very clear. I kind of know I'm supposed to go this way. Can you make it very clear? If you ask before you're going to bed and as you go to sleep, as you sleep, your higher self, your beings, people on the other side, Spirit, they can all get through in your dreams, and they can do it really vividly right now because Scorpio is in there, so it's very scorpionic connected energy. And Jupiter's in there, and Jupiter's working really well in there. So Jupiter, since it's been retrograde, it was about reorganizing, reworking. The 12th house is about completions, completing old karma, completing some life things that you've done here. It could be about researching things, and so maybe that's why some of you wanted to really isolate yourself and really trying to get down to what's going on. But now that it's direct, you've already amended, you've readjusted, you've done and done all you can, right? And so that can get really frustrating when you've done all you can and it's still not coming forth. Now that it's direct, it's going to be coming forth. Remember, Jupiter is the planet of gifts, gifts and luck, and so it wants to expand. It will make this bigger. It will make your 12th house bigger. It will make your connection bigger. It wants to give you completions and understanding. It wants to gift you things. So with Jupiter in this house, it can actually bring you those dreams, those hopes and dreams that you're kind of seeing, right? As it moves through, because it just went direct, so as it moves through, you'll be gaining stuff, right? All right, so now let's talk about eclipses. So eclipses are about your soul's journey. They're about your higher self. They're about the things that you're wanting to do to help expand your light, grow your soul, grow your light, grow your knowledge and understanding in this lifetime, right? And so because of that, karmic events can happen. Now, because it's going to be in your third house, and it's on the south node. So it's right next to the south node. So if you look here, the north node is at 5 degrees Leo, which means the south node, it's always opposite 5 degrees Aquarius. Aquarius is your third house right now. So your third house is, we all know it's about communication, but it also could be about your friends and your neighbors and your siblings and acquaintances. It could also be about speaking engagements and short-term travel or short travel. It could be about your skills, right? And so with the lunar eclipse teaches us about letting go of what no longer serves us, right? That's what the lunar eclipse does. It teaches us about not having to carry around the baggage from past lives, from our childhood, from past trauma. Like, it teaches us how to let go of those things. It reminds us that we are more than just our bodies, that we are spirit as well, and that honestly, we're all going to be okay. Okay? That's what it reminds us and helps us to do. So with this lunar eclipse, it's about letting go. But because it's on your south node, this is a time for you to release, complete old karma. Okay? And I'll say it this way, like I've said to the others. Your south node is about mastering that thing, right? So maybe you spent 1,000 lives mastering this particular situation, and you did it in 1,000 different ways, and you finally mastered it, right? Well, when you come into this life, it's your south node. You've mastered it, but it's become a habit because you've done it for so many lives, right? And so in your higher self, no, it's not a habit. But in your body, being a human in a lifetime, it's a habit. This is in your DNA. This is like your fourth house stuff, right? So it's in your DNA. So what the eclipse comes to do is help you release that so you don't have to carry that anymore. Because maybe you started to bring the situation here because it's a habit to do it that way. It's a habit to have that situation. It's a habit to have that type of relationship. So now is the time with this lunar eclipse to let go of your old karma, to release those contracts, to say, hey, I'm done. I don't have to do this anymore. I already mastered that, right? I can do this a different way. And you'll know because you're Saggy, you make the unknown known, so you have this higher knowledge. That's why you have this, like, knowing of how you're going to, like, knowing what nobody else can see. Because even though you know it and nobody else can see it, maybe it's about you releasing these old things so that you can get to that. Does that make sense? I hope that made sense. Okay, so because Mars is there, so Mars and the lunar eclipse and the south node are conjunct, right? So because Mars is there, letting go of something or someone, letting go of old karma, completing some karma. Maybe you came here to complete the karma. Maybe now is the mastery. Maybe you came here to finally get it done, right? Now is the time for completion. But because we have Mars in there, and Mars retrograde, it could come about through chaos or through crisis, some sort of transformation. And it can come through anger and frustration, right? It's almost like that coal being pressured to become a diamond, right? And so just this being in your third house is about that, okay? So you're going to be letting go, and you will feel the effects of a lunar eclipse for up to 5 months, right? Sometimes a little bit longer, but up to 5 months. Really prominently for 4 months. So, I'm so sorry, I got a cough again. So, will some of you complete some things? Yeah, like today or tomorrow or the next day? Yes, absolutely. But some of you, it's going to take some time. I know a lot of you have no problem letting go, but then you have to deal with the emotional part of the letting go, like really reorganizing your life, understanding that it's different now. Like all that comes in the next 5 months, okay? So just be aware of that. That's going to be going on for the next 5 months. Your solar eclipse is going to be going on for the energy of that for the next 6 months, even up to a year, depending on your chart, but really prominently for about 5 months. So for about 4 or 5 months, you're going to be releasing, bringing in, releasing, bringing in, releasing, right? So before I talk about the solar eclipse, let's go into, I wanted to talk about how this is squared. So this is going to be squares. This is already squared Uranus. And Uranus is in, if this is you, this is 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th house, right? So your 6th house is about your health and well-being. Your 6th house is about your daily activity. So where your 12th house, right here, your 12th house is about the subconscious, about your higher self, about your past life, present life, and future life, the connection between that. Your 6th house, so this is all the subconscious stuff that comes on your path that you're like, oh, okay, that's what I'm supposed to do. Or, okay, that happened, so I'm going to deal with that, right? The 6th house is where you see everything consciously. You make the decisions like having better nutrition, taking better care of yourself, making your schedule better so that you have time to love yourself, making your schedule better for your family. Like this is the conscious stuff of your everyday life, right? And so with Uranus being in your 6th house, some things needed to change. Because remember, Uranus for the next 7 years, as it's in your 6th house, has come to make you more stable. Because it has to play by Taurus's rules. Taurus is all about finance, stable, comfort, feeling happy, right? And so this is where Uranus is trying to get you. So Uranus is the planet of shock and awe. It will move and shift you, or shift situations that could shock and awe you, but it was needed so that it can liberate you, so that it can help you be better, feel more comfortable, right? That's what it's going to be doing. So in the 6th house, it has to do also with completion. So you're going to be completing a lot of stuff in the next like 5 or 6 months. I know you guys have been like, some of you have been worried about, I think I'm doing all the work, I'm going with the flow, but when is it coming? Like now's that time. It's already started for some of you, but in the next 5 or 6 months, you're going to see more things happen, okay? This has to do with open enemies. This house has to do with open enemies, disputes, diseases. It could have to do with nutrition, right? Yeah, and debt. And so it's going to be making you better at this. This is Uranus. So with this square, as you're letting go, and this is squared, Uranus is going to be shifting stuff, okay? So I just wanted you to be aware of that, because this square is going to be from now until the 15th of August, okay? And I'm sorry I didn't mention this before. I didn't put up the tarot because I'm going to do a full tarot spread, because this is in preparation for the month of September, where I'm going to have the full detailed extended on my website. So From now to the 15th, you're going to have this square, and it's going to feel like this push and pull, push and pull. There's going to be shifting, there's going to be letting go, there's going to be understanding, there's going to be some completions, right? And it plays out differently in everybody. It kind of depends on your particular chart and where you're at, right? But not just that. You have Saturn and Chiron squared too. This is from the 1st to the 15th also. So from now to the 15th of August, we'll say that, right? So from now to the 15th of August, you have these two squares going on. So it's this push and pull. Should I do it? I'm doing it, but nothing's coming, and then it's coming, and then, wow, it didn't come like I thought it was going to come. It's going to come a different way. And so it's just, they're both trying to get you. So in this square, Mars, well, first the lunar eclipse, but then Mars and Uranus are working, they're not working together. They're both trying to get you to the same place. So it's going to feel like this push and pull, right? Like maybe you're changing the way that you and a neighbor are negotiating things, because this is your everyday life, your health and well-being, and this is your communication and your neighbors and your siblings and all that kind of stuff, right? But then you have this square where Saturn and Chiron, and I have a Chiron video. Anything I talk about will be in the description box and the link down below, and a link in the description box down below, sorry, at the end of this video, or in the eye icon at the top right, okay? So Saturn has been in your second house. Pluto's been in your second house. Capricorn's going to be in your second house. These are all retrograde right now. This one's going to go direct soon. This is all about amending, reworking, understanding, figuring out, editing, doing things differently. The second house is about your finances, the money you earn, the value you put on what you earn and who you are, right? This is the value you put to you, your first house, your identity, right? And so Saturn's been in there. Saturn is about delays. Saturn is about working hard. Pluto is about transformation and control, right? And so you're trying to figure out, how much control am I willing to take? How much am I giving up? Saturn's like, if you want this dream, you really got to tell me. If you want this money, if you want this house, if you want this car, if you want this whatever, you really got to show me that you want it. You really, really have to dig your heels in and work for it. Saturn will have delays. Saturn wants you to wait. Saturn wants you to be responsible. Saturn wants you to work for it. But Saturn ultimately will give you way more than you thought you were going to get. Okay? So with it squaring Chiron, Chiron is going to be in your 5th house of creativity, your 5th house of love affairs. So maybe if it's about love affairs, it could be like, every time I think it's going to be one way, the person turns out to be the other way. Chiron is that planet that, or the asteroid, sorry. Actually, it's kind of in between both. But it's that thing that no matter what you do or how often you try to resolve this, or no matter which way you go, you cannot catch a break. That's Chiron. And then what you ultimately learn in Chiron, and it's just in its first degree, but ultimately what you learn in Chiron is that through your mistakes you teach others, and that's how you release yourself. Okay? So you can look at my Chiron video, and I hope that explains all that to you. The other thing too, Saggy, is that, and I think you have an understanding of this, because again, even though you may get a little anxious and a little frustrated, and like you won't ever show that to anybody, but even though you may do that, you have to remember, we have a lot of planets retrograde. We have Saturn, we have Pluto, we have Mars, we have Neptune, we have Chiron, we have Uranus, sorry, I blanked for a second. And we have the North Node, and then we have Mercury. Mercury's gone retrograde. Mercury will be retrograde, I'm sorry I didn't say that. Mercury will be retrograde until August 19th, okay? So you have all these retrogrades going on. So it feels like as much as you try, as much as you force, as much as like you just can't break through. And this is because it's preparing you to let go and release some things, because it's going to thrust you into this new way, these dreams that you've been seeing. So Mercury, just to be very clear, is in your 12th, 11th, 10th, 9th. Okay? Mercury is it's going to help you understand, it's going to help you process it. Mercury in the 9th house is about the higher knowledge. This is your house, so you're going to feel it. You're probably really feeling that North Node too. You're like, oh, I know I see it. I know it's there. I know, and it's just not showing up. That's probably what you've been feeling with this North Node. And it can get emotional because you're like, I don't know what else to do. I'm so tired. Now, again, you're probably not showing this to anybody else, but you're like, I'm so tired. It's not working. I've caught some breaks, but is this the only breaks I'm going to have? Like, it always does this where it's like just a little bit and then it pulls back, right? So Mercury being in here is the communicator, is the messenger. Mercury brings the message from the underworld to this world, right? From the other worlds to this world. So it's going to help you process and understand. This is about where you're working. This is about figuring out what do you want, where you want to go, what exactly do you want to do, how exactly do you want to do it. That's what Mercury is helping you do here. And it will be doing that till the 19th of August, okay? So I wanted to mention those aspects. If we look on the 7th, so on the 7th, Venus enters Libra, right? And this is going to be in your 11th house. So whatever hadn't happened in your 10th house, the 11th house is the house of gains. The 11th house is the house of networking and groups, right? But it supports your 10th house. So with Venus being in here, if you have your own business, if you have some networking that you do, if you have groups that you belong to, you can't go wrong here because Venus wants to bring you love, luck, and money in here, right? And so these things that hadn't gone through, with Jupiter gone direct, Venus has worked its way in your 9th house of beliefs, I'm sorry, your 10th house. Then in the 11th house, it brings you those gains. Whatever it hasn't brought you here, it brings you here. And why? Because you're releasing here. You're letting go, you're completing these karma things, you're completing these things when you were a child, you're completing these old relationships, you're letting go, you're understanding. And as you do that, you give yourself room in your energetic field to receive your abundance, right? To receive abundance. Now, that's going to be going on for the month, that month from August, you know, for about 30 days, okay? So then on the 11th, let's go to the 11th. I'm so sorry I'm having a cough. Then on the 11th, we have the solar eclipse. So the solar eclipse is going to be happening again. This is your 12th, 11th, 10th, 9th, your understanding, where you're going, what you know to be true, a higher knowledge, your quest for higher knowledge, right? And what are solar eclipses? Solar eclipse, where a lunar eclipse is going to teach you about letting go of what no longer serves you, detaching, not having to carry that stuff any longer, completing these things, right? Completing that old karma. Where the lunar eclipse does this, the solar eclipse wants to bring you something. It wants to bring you these gifts to fulfill your experience here, to fulfill your soul's journey. Remember, this is about your soul's journey, so this is about karmic events. So this is something that your heart desired. It's been desiring, these things that you're seeing. It can bring you that, and it will do that for the next 6 months. Some of you 8 months, some of you up to a year. It kind of depends. So with that comes new beginnings, right? And I can see where this will work with this Venus to bring you new beginnings, to bring you a better passion of, yes, it's finally clearing up. This is what I want to do. I mean, if you're into the spiritual and learning astrology and all of that, this is like really directing you, really helping you understand that. A mentor, a guru, a teacher of some sort could come through here as well. But whatever this is for you to be fulfilled on your soul's journey, right? So it's a new beginning. It's going to give you something to transform you, to help you get into that next phase. And for a lot of you, it's that phase that I see that you already see. It's that thing that you've been seeing for a long time, right? And so over the next 6 months, for some of you, it may happen like that. For others of you, it may take some time. Just kind of depends. So that's going on the 11th. Then on the 13th, this is when Mars, all that reworking, you're still going to be reworking, editing, revising, figuring it out, but it moves into Capricorn. So what it was doing in Aquarius in this house, this is your 3rd house, it is now moving into your 2nd house. So this has to do with your second house. Whatever has been going on and working here, revising, editing, but it's going to be in a very Capricorn way instead of the Aquarian way, right? So it's going to move into Capricorn, and that means where it was just this disruption and anger and these outbursts and this emotional, right? When it goes into Capricorn, it's going to be very directed and understanding, and it's going to give you the energy to do what you need to do to get you your value, to get you your finances, to get you these things, right? Now, is it going to all come at once? No, because we still have Saturn over here, and as Saturn gets close to Pluto, big things are going to happen. As Mars gets close to Pluto, some things are going to happen, right? But Pluto, remember, is about push and pull. It's about wanting to control things, and this is where you learn. I have control. So Pluto wants to control things, but it's to teach you that you have control ultimately. It transforms you to give you your power, right? And so that's going to be going on. But remember, you have this square going on, so it's going to be this push and pull, push and pull. I feel great. I don't feel great. I thought I had it. I don't have it. Why can't I get it? I did have it. La la la. Like it's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? But you're going to get it. You're almost there. You're almost there, my beautiful Saggies. Okay? Then on the 19th, whatever you've been working on with Mercury and this North Node, it is now going to be direct. So now is the time when you get the clarity and the things come to you and whatever gifts come to you, now's that time to take it forward. Now's that time to take the action. Now's that time. And because this is a fire sign, it's in Leo, and you're a fire sign, you're really going to feel it. You're really going to get some stuff. You really, really are. You've had delays. You've had to really work for it. You've had to really pinpoint. You've had to really center. You've had to really say, this is what I want. I do have the power to control my life. I do have the power to control my world around me. I do. That's what this is all about. And this is going to be bringing you stuff so that you understand that even more. Okay? So on the 24th or 25th, depends on where you are in the world, the sun enters Virgo. So the sun is going to enter Virgo. And again, this is you, 12th, 11th, 10th. I'm telling you, things are going to clear up for you here. You're getting these things, and then things are going to clear up. You cannot go wrong in your life purpose and in your work, in your career, any of that right now. You can't. I know it feels like, okay, but where's the money? Okay, but where's my house? Okay, but where's my car? Okay, but where's da-da-da? It's because Saturn's making you work hard, right? It's because Pluto's here. It's because Mars is here. But when you're doing your life purpose, when you're doing your work and you're aligned, and this is what the sun's coming in here to show you, to really ground you, to really put in the practices of doing this work and being very clear and poignant and working, then it's going to clear things up. It's going to align you, and it's going to bring you things, right? And I know, because we're in duality, you have this thing where I am getting stuff, but it didn't come the way I thought it was, but I am getting stuff, but that's not what I see. But I'm getting stuff, but it's not where I'm seeing, right? And so there's a frustration in that. But you're almost there. You're almost there. And some of you could have a big shift here and here, right? So some of you have fate, destiny, and miracles coming. I think all of you do, just some of you may not feel like it's that way, okay? So then on the 26th, which I don't think you're having a problem with this, because you guys are really good. You can let go of stuff. You can process stuff. You can understand. Well, okay, you can let go of stuff. But processing is a little bit harder. And so as you're processing things, as you're letting go of things in your lunar eclipse, if you've done the work, which I don't see you not doing the work, Saggy, you know how to do the work. You just need to, like, know that you're going to do the work. Like, you need to say, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and then you do it, right? You're fire. You can do it. So as you've processed, as you let go, as these things completed, as you understand that it's old karma and you release these contracts, this full moon in Pisces, even though it's about letting go, can actually be about fate, destiny, and bringing something in. okay? And that all depends on if you've let go and done the work here, okay? So this can be about manifestation. This can be because, and it's a powerful, powerful manifestation because it's got Pisces, Neptune, and the moon. Pisces, Neptune, and the moon tells me those things that you see in your head that you know can manifest out of thin air, that can actually happen when these three are put together, okay? And so this is going to be, this is your first house, second house, third house, your fourth house. What is the fourth house about? The fourth house is about your security, about your happiness, about your comfort, right? And so something actually could be manifested here to help you feel those things, to help you understand those things. When you're working in this fourth house, it's about understanding that home really is where your heart is, that it doesn't matter where you are or what happens. If you're happy, no one can take that away. No one can give that to you and no one can take it away. If you're comfortable, no one can give that to you and no one can take it away because you have it, right? And so if you're manifesting and it means, you know what, this house is what's really going to make me happy, or I am happy, but I've wanted this house, that could come through. A lover could come through. Your life partner could come through. Money could come through. Like something could come through this house to make you, to help you understand, not to make you, to help you understand, to feel comfortable and happy again, to feel safe and secure again. Okay? So, my advice, process all you can in this next 5 months, especially all you can in the next 26 days. Okay? All right, so, and then you have this grand trine, which is another, like you guys know what grand trines are to me. Grand trines are divinely guided gifts. So with this powerful 3 here, and this grand trine, this is something stable coming. This is a divinely guided gift, something stable coming, right? And for you guys, I can see it coming in here and coming out of nowhere, like coming from nowhere. Like, I never say this to Saggy, but I can see where if it's on your path and, you know, you wanted to experience a lotto, maybe you win it. Maybe you win it. Like, I can see that coming, like, out of thin air. I can see your life changing, okay? And I know because I know you see this. I know you see these things. All right, so on the 28th, Mars finally goes direct. So all this work, you're not going to feel the full effects of it until September and October. So these things that you've been working on with, it's either your siblings, it's your family, it's your acquaintances, it's your, it could be your neighbors, whatever this is that you've been working on, and they get really directed and it comes through, it's finally going to, like, you can actually start having it in your hands. This has to do with your finances, the finances that you earn, the finances that you work for, this house you work for, this car you work for, this laptop you work for, this business you work for. This is the money you acquire to help you understand your value, okay? And so it's going to begin to bring forth these things, but again, it won't be completed until like September, October. And that's only part of it because we still have this Saturn that needs to go direct and come this way, and this Pluto that needs to go direct, okay? So, congratulations, my Saggies. Hang in there. I know it's been tough. I know it's been... I just feel like a lot of you are in solitude because you don't want to really reveal emotionally how you're feeling because you understand innately that that can change things. Does that make sense? Like, you always want to show positivity and you always see the brighter side of things, but when you're alone and you're by yourself, you're really trying to work it out. And so I can feel you. I feel a lot of that frustration and that heartache and that loneliness and that just frustration, right? But you're almost there, my beautiful Saggies. You're almost there. So one last thing I wanted to say. I did team up with Instant Go. It is a... it's an app that you can download. I'll have the link down in the description box below. If you have a question about an aspect of yours, if you have a question about just one question about your love life or whatever, this is a way for you to connect with me via text, and then I can answer you back. So if you use the promo code INDIGO, you get $5 off your first order. So I just want to let you guys know that was available. All right, my gorgeous ones, I love you, love you, love you. Hang in there. You're almost there. You're almost there. Your dreams are going to come true. Bye-bye.